Yuan Shu marches out 7 armies. Cao Cao and 3 generals join forces. Yuan Shu believed destiny favored him. Holding the Imperial Seal, he declared that the Han's time had ended and it was heaven's will for him to rule. His words shocked his court, dividing his officers instantly.
Heaven calls me. Why should I not answer?
Yan Shang bravely warned Yuan Shu not to imitate ancient rebels, reminding him that the Han still stood. His honest words displeased Yuan Shu, who was not used to hearing such direct opposition. Ignoring warnings, Yuan Shu declared himself emperor. He adopted royal titles, performed grand ceremonies, chose an empress, and demanded Lu Bu send his daughter quickly to complete the new imperial household. When Yuan Shu learned his envoy Han Yin had been executed in the capital, he erupted. The broken marriage plan left him humiliated, and he ordered immediate revenge, preparing his armies for invasion.
They dare insult me, then we march.
Yuan Shu raised a huge army under 7 commanders, aiming at Shouchun and its neighboring towns. He planned to strike many places at once, hoping to crush Lu Bu quickly and reclaim honor. Lu Bu gathered his advisors after hearing 7 armies march toward Shouchun. Chen Gong blamed the Chens, but Chen Deng surprised everyone by laughing fearlessly, claiming the mighty armies were no more than loose straw. Chen Deng revealed that 2 of Yuan Shu's leaders, Han Xian and Yang Feng, were dissatisfied and could be turned. With their help and Liu Bei's support, the 7 armies could be broken.
General, let me write to them, and Yuan Shu's power will crumble.
Lu Bu entrusted Chen Deng with letters to Han Xian, Yang Feng, and Liu Bei. Riding swiftly, he carried Shuzhou's hopes, aiming to turn enemies into allies before battle erupted. Chen Deng reminded Han Xian of his past loyalty to the Han and warned that Yuan Shu would never value him. Moved by the truth, Han Xian agreed to secretly help Lu Bu. Under cover of darkness, Han Xian and Yang Feng agreed to strike Yuan Shu at the right moment. A signal flare would summon Lu Bu's forces to join the surprise attack. After hearing Chen Deng's success, Lu Bu sent 5 armies to meet the invading forces at different towns. He led the central force himself, determined to strike where the enemy was strongest. At the agreed hour, Han Xian and Yang Feng lit the signal flare. Lu Bu's troops stormed the camp, catching Zhang Jun completely off guard and sending the enemy running. Zhang Jun's army collapsed under the combined surprise attack. Lu Bu's pursuit continued until dawn, driving the enemy far from Shuzhou and weakening Yuan Shu's grand invasion. When Jilin attempted to block Lu Bu's advance, Han Xian and Yang Feng struck from behind. Surprised and overwhelmed, Jiling's forces fled, leaving the field to Lu Bu. Yuan Shu arrived in person with an extravagant display of imperial symbols. He insulted Lu Bu loudly, but his bravado faded when his champion Li Deng fell after only 3 blows. After Li Deng fell, Yuan Shu's army panicked. Lu Bu pressed hard, and the enemy lines broke completely, leaving behind wagons, armor, and a trail of fleeing men. Just when Yuan Shu attempted to escape, Guan Yu appeared on the road ahead. Terrified, Yuan Shu turned and fled, his exhausted troops scattering even further.
Traitor, your running ends here.
Broken and frightened, Yuan Shu fled with only a fraction of his army. The once mighty force dissolved, retreating toward the lands south of the Huai River. Victory secured, Lu Bu returned to Shuzhou with his allies. Feasts and celebrations filled the city, and the generals of the 5 divisions received generous rewards. Han Xin was made governor of Yidu, and Yang Feng was given Langyu. Though some wanted them kept closer, Chen Gui advised placing them in the mountains instead. Chen Deng wished to keep the generals nearby as future leverage, but Chen Gui cautioned that Lu Bu might grow stronger instead. After a tense pause, Chen Deng accepted his father's wiser judgment. Yuan Shu begged Sun Tzu for soldiers, but Sun Tzu refused, calling him a rebel who misused the Imperial Seal. His rejection pushed Yuan Shu into even deeper anger. Knowing Yuan Shu might retaliate, Sun Tzu fortified Jiangku and strengthened his defenses. Soon after, a messenger arrived with orders from Cao Cao, granting Sun Tzu authority and urging him to prepare for action. Sun Tzu suggested that Cao Cao attack the south, while he provided support from the east. The plan seemed wise, especially with Yuan Shu weakened and supplies running short. Seeing Yuan Shu weakened and Sun Tzu willing to cooperate, Cao Cao marched with 170,000 troops, leaving Cao Ren to guard the capital. The combined forces were ready to crush Yuan Shu at last. Yuan Shu's commander Cao Rui charged bravely against Shouchun, but after only 3 exchanges, he was defeated. His troops panicked and fled back into Shouchun, leaving the city vulnerable. Shouchun had no time to recover from Cao Rui's defeat before Sun Xi's fleet appeared in the west. Then Cao Cao, Liu Bei, and Lu Bu's armies closed in from all directions, locking the city tight and leaving Yuan Shu nowhere to run. Yuan Shu called his advisors to discuss the siege. Yang Dejiang warned that the city had suffered years of drought and famine. Sending more soldiers would only bring more trouble. He suggested that Yuan Shu escape across the river Huai with his guards and precious stores, leaving his remaining troops to hold the city until the enemy weakened from lack of supplies.
To fight now is to lose. To endure is to survive.
Following Yang Dejiang's advice, Yuan Shu moved 100,000 troops and all his family treasures across the river Huai, preparing for a safer stronghold away from Shouchun's danger. Cao Cao's 170,000-strong force consumed enormous amounts of food daily. The famine-stricken region had nothing to give, so the siege dragged on for a month with no victory in sight. With supplies nearly gone, the commissary chiefs begged Cao Cao for instructions. Their report showed that ordinary distribution could no longer continue without immediate action. Cao Cao ordered that grain be issued in smaller portions to stretch supplies. He hoped the change would buy time until Sun Xi's grain wagons arrived. The soldiers quickly discovered the smaller rations and grew angry. They believed someone had deceived them, and resentment swept through the camp. Cao Cao summoned Wang Ho privately. Though innocent, he was chosen as a scapegoat to calm the unrest before it grew into a mutiny.
I must borrow your head for the army's peace.
Though innocent, Wang Ho was executed as if guilty of cheating the soldiers. This harsh act quelled anger across the army and restored order. To push his exhausted army onward, Cao Cao joined the labor himself. His presence encouraged everyone, and soon the siege engines advanced closer to the walls. After fierce fighting, Shouchun finally fell. Its defending officers were captured and executed, and imperial furnishings were destroyed to prevent future pretenders. Cao Cao wished to pursue Yuan Shu across the river, but Xun Yu warned that the famine-stricken land could not support a long campaign and urged patience. Before any decision about Yuan Shu was made, news arrived that Zhang Xu and Liu Biao were attacking nearby regions. Cao Hong was losing ground. Before marching, Cao Cao told Liu Bei to remain in Xiaopei and watch Lu Bu carefully. He advised relying only on Chen Gui and Chen Dong.
Remember, the tiger falls only into a prepared pit.
In Sichuan, Li Jue and Guo Xi's families were executed for their crimes. Citizens rejoiced at the long-awaited justice. At a grand banquet, the emperor rewarded the heroes who had defeated the rebels. Harmony briefly returned to the palace. The emperor personally escorted Cao Cao from the capital as he set off to defeat Zhang Xu. This rare gesture showed deep trust in his leadership. Because the grain was ready for harvest, Cao Cao ordered no crops be trampled. The army marched gently, earning gratitude from the farmers. A startled dove caused Cao Cao's horse to trample part of the wheat. Realizing he had broken his own strict order, he prepared to face punishment. Cao Cao insisted on upholding the law he created, feeling he must pay the penalty himself. His officers begged him to reconsider.
Broke the law. How can I spare myself?
Accepting Guoji's advice, Cao Cao spared his life, but cut his hair to represent the penalty. The army was deeply moved by his fairness. Cao Cao's symbolic self-punishment inspired the entire army. Discipline tightened, morale strengthened, and every soldier marched with greater respect for their leader. When Cao Cao arrived, Zhang Xiu came out to challenge him with harsh insults. Cao Cao sent his powerful warrior, Shouchun, beginning the fierce clash outside Nanyang.
Pretender, beast of the wilds!
When Zhang Xiu's general Zhang Xian fell in only a few blows, Zhang Xiu's army lost courage and raced back to Nanyang. They barely slipped inside before the gates closed, leaving Cao Cao's forces to surround the city. Although the city was surrounded, the moat made direct attacks nearly impossible. Cao Cao's army needed new methods to bring Nanyang down, for rushing the walls would only waste lives. To break the stalemate, Cao Cao's commanders filled the moat and built a tall mound beside the wall. From this height, they could look straight into Nanyang and prepare for the next stage of the siege. Watching the towering mound rise outside, Jiashu quickly understood Cao Cao's strategy. Certain he could counter it, he went to Jiangshu with a plan he believed could turn the siege to their advantage.
General, I see Cao Cao's intent and how to stop it.